speaking specifically to Facebook gaming, let's say that I've been streaming a game that was really popular for a year and now the game just died. How is it worth it to continue on Facebook gaming, knowing, even though everything you just said, knowing that me playing on Facebook gaming is not going to do any benefit whatsoever? The algorithm doesn't care for me at all. How do you create exclusive content for one platform while you're still on Restream and on every other platform, especially a platform like Facebook gaming that, doesn't like me?
Facebook gaming. So, I mean, you put out a lot of things there that I don't think there's any way to actually concretely know for sure. Like, you're saying you're streaming a game that is dying, the algorithm won't treat you, and you're not going to get any views off of it, etc. First of all, the chance of you concretely knowing that 100% are not true. And I know, let's take, okay, the game is dying. There's a lot of cases where you can stream or make content for a dying game, and it has something that will bring back life to it. Like that's where you do carving out a niche. Carving out a niche is good, and it is finding a smaller game that has a diminishing community. It's easier to find new eyeballs onto your content, so you could actually pick up more concurrent viewers or more loyal viewers from that. I'm trying to think of what would be a good example of it. Actually, even Mobile Legends right now, Mobile Legends is declining.
Well, new patches, new content, new updates, new esports events, that all breathes new life into old games.
Like one of the strategies of great creators is going into something and streaming the thing that no one else wants to stream at the time. Let's take Diablo 3 for example. Diablo 3 had this period of time where, even now is actually a good time where like no one cares about it at all. No one does. Guess what? There's still people streaming it. Guess what? Those people are probably growing because everybody else knows to stay away from Diablo 3 because no one cares anymore. But guess what? There are still people that care. And it's the streamers that understand that, hey, when everyone says that no one cares and everyone abandons and jumps ship, there are still people out there that care. And if you're that streamer that's there for them, you're going to find loyal viewers. So
I like that.
So there's strategies. There are little meta strategies in these areas where there's weakness and things look bleak. And as a streamer and as a creator, you guys have to pick up on being creative about problem solving those areas. So in Facebook gaming, let's say the algorithm's not treating you. You're not getting any traction whatsoever. I mean, change the game. Just change the game on Facebook gaming until you find something. If that's a case where changing your game is great because you're already not getting any traction, so you have nothing to lose. What the problem with Facebook gaming is whenever you have traction and you change and then you have something to lose. In which case I would say if you want to stream different games, if you're multi-streaming, just don't stream on Facebook gaming that day. That seems, I think in prior episodes I said that could hurt, but I think the verdict is still out on that. Like test that and see how that works for you. Sometimes taking a break, I took I didn't stream on Facebook gaming for 4 or 5 days this past weekend. I didn't stream Thursday, Friday, and over the weekend. I came back on Monday, had really high peak concurrence. I hadn't streamed for like 5 days. There's no content on my channel on Facebook gaming for 5 days, and I streamed. Now that's just one instance. I don't know exactly why that was the case. I can't really isolate or give you why, but my point is test these things and don't assume that something is dying so you shouldn't cover it. Sometimes something's dying so you should cover it. Anthem is a great example, AWOL. You were in on Anthem. Does this apply to something like that? Do you think?
Yeah, I can talk about that. So
yeah.
I don't know if Anthem is the best example. Well, there is an Anthem example. So there is a couple creators for a dying game or a dead game called Anthem that are still making content for the game. And they're getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views covering the development of Anthem Next. Everybody else dropped Anthem. All the big creators were covering Anthem. It was the big thing. They all crapped on it and they all left. And so now there's a vacuum where there's still hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people still interested in Anthem as a topic. There's a vacuum in terms of the amount of supply in the market for content around the game, but the demand is still relatively high for it. And so the people still covering the development of Anthem Next are getting big views off of it, and they're primed up to capitalize on when Anthem Next launches. And so these such channels that stuck with it and are getting these sort of hype views for people that are loyalists to the franchise when maybe 90% of the people dropped off. When they stream the launch of the game when it relaunches, they're going to be getting more than 1,000 concurrent viewers when it drops on their YouTube channel. They are primed up for that. The same thing is the case with the Star Wars Battlefront community, another example for you guys to think about. The Battlefront games recently have all launched, have had massive criticism. 90% of the industry covered it, and then they all left, leaving just a handful of YouTubers left to cover the game. And guess what? When they make videos about the game, they get tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of views. And when they stream the game, they still get 500, 1,000, 1,500 concurrent viewers because they stuck with the game that they loved. And once everybody else left, it's always, always, always a game of supply and demand. So going back and covering classic games, going back and covering dead games, particularly on YouTube, actually, can help you grow an audience for them. And then whenever you're streaming them, you can tell people in your YouTube videos, go watch me here, wherever that is, when I'm streaming the game, and they'll go watch you stream it because you're one of the only streamers and you're one of the only people that are bringing them content about a game that's quote unquote dead. That's a huge opportunity to build a niche. Don't only focus on the big games. For those of you out there that are looking to just stream and win, it just doesn't work. You can't just stream and win on Facebook Gaming. It's not going to work. You can get some audience growth by streaming on Facebook Gaming. And in particular, if you restream as a part of Facebook Gaming and drive that traffic to somewhere like Twitch, that can work. But you can't only stream video games and grow. It's not going to work. And if that's your plan, just quit. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. You're basically hoping to scratch off the lottery card and be the one guy that wins $1 million today. So if you want to grow, you need to build the YouTube channel along with your streaming strategy, and then it can work for you. And then you can stream those games and potentially restream them. And Ross, aren't we sponsored by some company that rhymes with Restream or maybe supports something that is like restreaming?
We are actually sponsored by Restream, and like we're talking about right here, these guys, Facebook Gaming. Even if you don't know what's going to happen, have your backup plan in place with YouTube and Twitch. You can do that with Restream. You just log in, connect all the accounts, hit go live, and the next thing you know, you're live on all the accounts. And it's also got a built-in chat that collects all the chats from every single account, so you can still communicate with everybody on every platform using Restream.io.